Yo, what is up? My name is TylaDubya, and today I'm here to teach you how to beatbox. Alright, so you want to learn how to beatbox. Maybe you just saw a really cool beatboxing video, or finally have some free time and want to learn how to do this. Or this. But before you can do that, you first have to learn the basics. With that said, in this video, I'm going to teach you some of the fundamental sounds of beatboxing, including the kick drum, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, outward K snare, and inward K snare. After you learn those, we'll go through a few practice beats together, which should help give you an idea of how to use these sounds and to get you started on your beatboxing journey. The first step of that journey is to learn the most important sound in all of beatboxing, the kick drum. Learning the kick drum can be as easy as saying any word that begins with the letter B, such as big, bad, or boots. When you do this, try to focus on making the letter B as strong as possible, like this. Boots, 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 boots. Hopefully, as you are doing this, you will start to hear the letter B get more pronounced and percussive, and once you do, just remove the vocalization, like so. Boots, 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 boots. Now, that was a very high-level explanation, so if you don't understand yet, don't worry, let's go ahead and break it down into 3 easy steps. The first is to get the proper mouth positioning. To do this, let's start again by saying any word that begins with the letter B. Notice that when you say the letter B, your lips push against each other towards the front of your mouth. This is the positioning that you want. Once you got that, the second step is to build pressure behind your closed lips. You can do this by tightening or pushing your lips together while trying to force out air. It's almost like you really want to say the letter B, but are stopping right before you make any noise. So, now that you have pressure built up in the correct mouth positioning, the third and final step is to release that pressure. And with those 3 steps, you now have all the tools you need to do the kick drum. But that's only the first sound. It's now time to learn the closed hi-hat. Just like the kick drum, learning the closed hi-hat can be as easy as saying any word that begins with the letter T, such as to, tag, or ton. When doing this, try to focus on making the letter T as strong as possible, like this. Ton, 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 ton. As you do this, you should start to hear the letter T get more pronounced and percussive, and once you do, just remove the vocalization, like so. Ton, 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 ton. Again, that was a very high-level explanation, so if you don't understand yet, don't worry, let's go ahead and break it down into 3 easy steps. The first is to get the proper mouth positioning. To do this, let's start again by saying any word that begins with the letter T. Notice that when you say the letter T, the top portion of the tip of your tongue pushes against the roof of your mouth right behind your front teeth. This is the positioning that you want. Once you got that, the second step is to build pressure between your tongue and the roof of your mouth. You can do this by pushing the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth while trying to force out air. Make sure though that no air actually comes out. That happens in the third and final step when you release that built-up pressure. When you do this, air flows in between the tip of your tongue and the roof of your mouth, creating the hi-hat. For the closed hi-hat, you want to make sure you restrict that airflow to a quick burst so the sound is clean and precise. And with those 3 steps, you now have everything you need to do the closed hi-hat, but also the open hi-hat. So, at this point, if you understand how to do the closed hi-hat, with one small change, you can also do the open hi-hat. Remember how for the closed hi-hat, you restricted the airflow to a quick burst? With the open hi-hat, you instead want to provide a constant flow of air, like this. Everything else about the sound, though, from the mouth positioning to the building and releasing of pressure, is exactly the same. And with that, I think it's time we move on to the next sound, the outward K snare. Alright, so just like the other 2, learning the outward K snare can be as easy as saying any word that begins with the letter K or C, such as key, car, or cats. Then, focus on getting the letter K or C as strong as possible, like this. Cats, 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 cats. Once you start to hear the letter K or C get more pronounced and percussive, just remove the vocalization, like so. Cats, 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 cats. Just in case that explanation didn't help, let me get a bit more specific and break it down into 3 easy steps. The first is to get the proper mouth positioning. To do so, let's go ahead and start again by saying any word that begins with the letter K or C. Notice that when you say the letter K or C, the top portion of the back of your tongue pushes against the roof of your mouth. This is the positioning that you want. Once you got that, the second step is to build pressure between your tongue and the roof of your mouth. You can do this by pushing the top back of your tongue against the roof of your mouth while trying to force out air. Make sure though that no air actually comes out. That happens in the third and final step when you release that built up pressure. When you do this, air flows in between the top back portion of your tongue and the roof of your mouth, creating the K snare, and just like the closed hi-hat, you want to restrict that airflow to a quick burst. And with those 3 steps, you now have everything you need to do the outward K snare, and with one small change, the inward K snare. So, just as the name implies, the outward K snare is done by breathing out. So, to do the inward K snare, just breathe in. Everything else about the sound though, from the mouth positioning to the building and releasing of pressure, is exactly the same. The only difference is that you are building and releasing that pressure inwards. Along with that, you can choose where you want to focus that pressure, whether it be on the left, right, or in the middle. For me, I build the pressure on the top back right portion of my tongue. I can do it on the left and in the middle, but the right tends to give me the cleanest sound. But that wraps up the inward K snare and all of the sounds I plan to teach in this video, so let's go ahead and run through a few practice beats to help get you started. So, here's how this is gonna work. I'm gonna start a click track, display a beat on screen, then beatbox that beat along to the click track for 2 measures. After I'm done, the next 2 measures will just be the click track so you can repeat the beat that I just demonstrated. Alright, for this first beat, we will start at 80 BPM. Ready? One, 2, 3, 4. Awesome, for this next one, let's set the BPM to 90. You ready? One, 2, 3, 4. For this last one, let's raise the BPM to 160 for our classic drum and bass pattern. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's all the practice beats that I have for you today, but keep an eye out as I do plan to upload a dedicated practice video for these sounds in the near future. With that, I've given you all the tools that you need to both learn and practice the kick drum, closed hi-hat, open hi-hat, outward K snare, and inward K snare. As I mentioned earlier, these are some of the most fundamental sounds of beatboxing, but not the only ones, so be sure to subscribe as I'll be uploading another video soon covering some more basic beatbox sounds to help you continue on your beatboxing journey. Stay hydrated, my friends.